Hey guys, it's Olivia. Are you following us on Instagram? We're at Culture Club ATL on Instagram. Check us out. I know you watching.
What if it's too hard?
I'm gonna push through.
What if it's too rough?
I'm gonna push through.
What if it's too tough?
I'm gonna push through.
What if you're just too young?
That's not true.
What if you're not good enough?
That's not true.
Why? Because
I can do anything I put my mind to.
I believe in you.
Shut up.
Believe in yourself.
Hey, hi.
Tell me why.
We push through anything we put our minds to.
Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Wesley from A Connection TV, the network, the one channel on YouTube where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And the similar connection that I want to adopt with you, or at least try to, is the fuckery that we just watched this past Sunday, which is called Game of Thrones. And it was the season finale, season 7, with 7 freaking episodes. Why? What the hell? Oh my god, I don't understand it. Anyways, if you don't watch the show, you should watch the show because we had moments like this. Let's see what they say are the 7 burning questions. Will Daenerys accept Jon as legitimate? Can we stop having them fuck? If Daenerys finds out about Jon's true identity, she'll be left with the decision of sticking to her claim or supporting Jon. Or supporting Jon's. So, let's talk about that because I was kind of confused. At one point, I thought they were brother and sister. But then, you know, Bran was having this grand conversation with the thick dude. And I was listening, but I wasn't listening because at that point of watching 5 hours of bullshit of Game of Thrones, I was just completely tuned out because nothing was happening. And yes, in the grand scheme of things, nothing could really happen except for the major war, which they have to save for next season. But still, grand finale, there was nothing grand about the finale except for one particular incident or occurrence that happened. But a buddy of mine, Harold, was saying, oh, you know, Jon is Daenerys' nephew. And I was like, what? Okay, either way, sister, brother, nephew, aunt, the shit is still nasty. Why are they fucking? And why is it okay that they're fucking? And why is it that Entertainment Tonight seems to have this as the only question when she finds out the true identity? Is she gonna boil her vagina in boiling water to get Jon out of her? Like, this shit is disgusting. The concept of siblings fucking and family fucking is just not hot. It's not pretty hot and tempting. Although I will say though, Jon's booty cake was just to die for. Can we not? Jon's booty cake was to die for. Let's look at the rest of this video. Does Jon want to be the king of Westeros? I don't think he does. I mean, I think he pretty much stated that. It's not something that he wants. I don't think he wants to be the king. I just think he wants the world. Let's look at this third question. I just think he wants the world to be a peaceful one, and he wants everyone to be able to coexist. That's what I think. Will Dany and Jon halt their romance when they learn they're related? I hope so! Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, what do you mean? That's nasty! They better. That's just disgusting. After their recent boat romance, it's hard to imagine these two characters being all that thrilled about it. Duh. Will Dany get pregnant? Nasty. Who wants... nobody wants to... Why would we want her to get pregnant? Why would we want her... I don't want her to get pregnant. No. Dany believes she can't become pregnant after the witch Mary Ma's door cursed her. So, okay, she becomes pregnant with her related nephew's child or brother's child, whatever. Because apparently he's not a Sand and he's not a Stark, he's a Targaryen. And I'm like, I'm lost. So leave your comments below about that. That's what I want to know. And why are these the only questions that we have on this EW? Who will rule House Stark in the North? That is a great question. Because it's going to be Jon, but then again, when they find out the identity, it's probably not going to be Jon, and Jon's still probably just going to give it to Sansa, because Sansa did an amazing job with basically telling Littlefinger, fuck yourself, and then giving the command for Arya to slice his throat. And the way Arya just walked up to him and said, and stepped back like it was nothing. And the moment when Arya turned to Littlefinger and said, Lady Sansa asked you a question, I was like, yes! And Bran is just sitting there all cold and shit like, I know it all. And I told it all. I was just like, come on. And Sansa's sitting there commanding like, this is what it is and this is what it will be. I'm like, go ahead, Sansa. You better tell him. You better tell him. Yes. And that was the best part of the damn episode, honestly. I was watching the video with someone. And as I was watching it with that person, I was like, damn, I really don't be wanting. I don't want to watch the episode. I kind of like you, but, you know, I'm on this new kick, y'all. I'm on this new kick. Suffice it to say, I'm not really interested in finding anything with anyone anymore because of all of the bullshit I keep latching onto. We'll save that for another video. Let's just say I made him watch Game of Thrones and he was particularly annoyed because it was boring. And I agreed with him. It was completely boring. But this month is fine as hell. And it was just a great opportunity for us to cuddle and just like, well, I'm like, so I didn't really care about Game of Thrones because I was cuddling in the midst of cuddling. But I think Sansa is going to be the shiznit as a ruler. And the fact that she has been able to, you know, reconnect with Arya, and Arya's a badass, and now Sansa's a badass. And I don't think that anyone is going to be able to harm Sansa with Arya around. That's what I'm saying. Beautiful situation. It seems the obvious answer would be Sansa, especially if Jon sets his sights on the Iron Throne. Right, I said that. How will Cersei react to Jon's lineage? Why are we just concerned about Jon's lineage? Like, I mean, I guess it's a big factor, but, I mean, no, the burning question is Cersei's child going to be born deformed? That would be the burning question. They've already had 4 children that nothing was wrong with them, and clearly it's supposed to be a curse if you sleep with your sibling. Nothing's been wrong with these kids. They've been healthy. It would be a beautiful situation for Cersei's baby to come out with one eye. Can we have that? Let's have that. Because we're celebrating a brother and a sister having sex. Disgusting. And, you know, the whole, you know, when they had the meeting and they met the Walking Dead. And Walking Dead was trying to run after her, and then the Hound killed it, and she was just so frightened and all of that. And then she said, yes, I will help you if you bend the knee to me. And I'm like, what's with all these bend the knees bullshit? Then, you know, the little runt goes and talks to her, and then she comes back and she's like, yes, we'll fight together. Hopefully you'll hold your word because you've been promising me nothing, and I'm just gonna promise you my bullshit. She ain't promising anything because she then goes back to Jaime and she's like, listen, you're not going anywhere. I lied. Let them die off. We're not helping them. And Jaime's like, well, I'm going. It is what it is. And then she threatens to kill Jaime, and she doesn't. She also threatened to kill Tyrion, but she didn't either. She doesn't want to be the last of her family whatsoever. So I think that's why she's a punk, really. And she's not really killing any of her family because she doesn't want to be the only one left. That would be a miserable life to be had. Don't y'all agree? It probably won't change her mind at all. She already believes they're all traitors. Okay. And most pressing of all, how are we going to wait a year or even more for the final season? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Because a year would be next summer, right? They're only giving us 6 episodes. But are we shocked or surprised? No, this is what the fuck they always have done. Like, I always feel like Game of Thrones comes back 8 years later or 8 years after the fact. It's not like Walking Dead, where Walking Dead is coming back on a schedule. You know what I'm saying? And at this point, since it is the last season, do we really care? I think by the time it actually rolls around, we'll care. But life will go on throughout the season. I mean, there's a ton of shows to continue watching. Like, there really is. A ton of shows to continue watching. Other questions I may have as well, or now that I'm reading this particular article on a Business Insider, is When did the Stark children plan to backstab, or when did they find out about the Littlefinger bullshit? That's a good question. Bran obviously told them something because they were all three stone cold when they sliced him up. That's a good question. Then if we go down, will Jon Snow accept the Targaryen tradition of incest and continue his reputation with Daenerys, or will he end it immediately? Good question. He needs to stop. It is freaking disgusting. Let's not. I'm just saying. Let's not. Can we not? Can we not do that? Freaking nasty. Let's see. Will Jon accept his true status and compete with Daenerys for the Iron Throne? I mean, we talked about this already. It's just disgusting. Let's see. Where is Jaime headed? Will Jaime be accepted by the other crew? That's a good question. Because, I mean, he is Jaime. But Brienne might accept him. And others might accept him as well. Because he has done some good things in the midst of trying to get back to his sister's vagina. Will everyone in Winterfell eventually have to move south? Duh. Because there's no way you're gonna tell me all of those hundreds of thousands, so says Daenerys, all those hundreds of thousands of dead motherfuckers are just gonna bypass Winterfell? It was too many of them. It really was. It was too many of them. Are Podrick and Bronn chilling in a King's Landing brothel, or will we see them in Winterfell? I think we will see them in Winterfell. I think Bronn is gonna follow Jaime, and I think that's where Jaime is going to end up going, to Winterfell. I think. Makes sense. Does the Golden Company take on impossible jobs? I guess. Whatever. I don't really care about Cersei. I really don't. Will Tyrion get his old brain back? I don't really know what that question is asking. But I think Tyrion did a great job in convincing Cersei, kind of, because Cersei lied anyway. But, I mean, I don't know. Tyrion is good. I think Tyrion is on the good side. Tyrion is trying to be little man turned tall man. But I think Tyrion is unnecessary at this point. Will Theon find Yara? That's a great question, because Theon finally got his balls, pun intended, back when he was kicked or kneed in the balls, had no interaction, and then no reaction, and then just headbutted the dude, and then punched the dude, and then just kept punching him. Theon Greyjoy finally came back, and it was great. This man has been through a lot. This man has been through a lot, and I think everything that he went through with that nasty, disgusting, vile human being made me forgive what he did to the Starks. Never forget, but I forgave him. He went through enough hell. And he deserves a second chance. Now that they've made it past the wall and are in Westeros, will the Night King's army still march so slowly? Very good question, because they are the army of the dead. Are they going to run? Because when they know their target, they run. But as they march on, they just walk slowly. I, for one, and I was talking to Harold again last night, and he was really upset about the physics of how the dragon burned down that 8,000-year-old ice brick wall, and how the dragon was flying with holes in his wings, and I was dying laughing because I completely agree. I don't see how that was remotely possible, but then again, obviously, to my mind, obviously, the dragon's fire was just like probably heightened because it was brought back to life and it was blue fire. That's what I'm thinking. But I'm thinking Drogon would have been able to do that to the wall probably over, I think it was Tyrellin, whatever that dragon's name. I forget the dragon's name. But yeah, I don't know. I was a bit disturbed at how easily the wall came down. I really was. Will Sam ever give Jilly credit for her discovery? Sam was just stupid when she was telling him what was going on, and he really wasn't paying attention. So I don't know. What exactly are Bronn's powers, and what are the limitations? He didn't know Jon is legitimized by marriage and couldn't ask that moment until Sam told him about it? Good question. Once again, I was fucking confused because I was trying to figure out how is Sam telling Bran something that he doesn't already know? If he's the three-eyed raven, why is Bran clueless to this? That's what I was wondering, but whatever. I guess it was their way of throwing loopholes. What did y'all think? What did y'all think about the Game of Thrones season finale? Let me know. Leave comments below, and I'd really appreciate to hear from you. Love ya. Deuces. And let me know if I should do more reviews like this. Deuces.